has responded to all the criticism by brushing it off. He has pointed out that fans only talk when he loses, and that the hate is nothing new. He emphasized that the negativity started after the Tank fight, and that people love to talk when he's not winning. To Ryan, it felt like a glorified sparring session. He said the energy was dead. He could hear Shakur, Stevenson, and Richardson Hitchens talking ringside, and it distracted him.
I'm a trash can, I'm a choker, and everyone saw that I am nothing without my steroids tonight. I transitioned from King Ryan to Queen Ryan. To be honest, without my secret juice, I'm just a TikTok boxer. I'm not gonna lie. I might as well go back on TikTok now and box against a mannequin to impress all the high school kids.
The talk tried to explain why he felt off. He blamed the weird setup of the Times Square event. Originally advertised as a free-to-attend outdoor show that would gather a massive public crowd, the event ended up being fenced off, limiting most of the visual access to VIPs or people watching from nearby buildings. And it cost him dearly. Not only did he lose the fight, but he lost it in brutal fashion, and it likely slammed the door shut on any future big paydays. According to some, Raleigh's team made a massive mistake walking away from the Garcia deal. Still, despite...
Man, your name is Ryan Osterine Garcia, man. Where the hell was the juice? Hell no. Soon as I bet on this boy, he wanted to quit doing PEDs. No.
Some fans posting online sounding a bit more frustrated and introspective. I'm devastated and really sad that I fought the way I did. I just didn't have it tonight. Fell off. Then, in the post-fight press conference, Ryan Garcia has fired back to fans after talks of him being unable to be competent when clean, with many pointing out that he beat Devin Haney while testing positive for PEDs.
The whole 12 rounds and you knocked him out.
I knocked him down the second round. You know, he's strong, you know, he has a good left hook, you know, and, you know, the one time he opened up, you know, I cracked him and he didn't open up at all the rest of the fight.
Even with the physical gifts, the speed, the power, the sharp combinations, fans are now questioning the other half of the fight game, the mental toughness, the dog. And if he has it, for all of Ryan's flash and following, it seems more and more people are unconvinced that he can handle pressure. When he's hurt, they say he folds. When he's down, but couldn't get past Romero in his return fight when supposedly clean. Fans have jumped onto this pattern, saying the contrast is telling. Even some fans made AI videos aimed at Ryan chasing greatness. He looks like someone done with the grind, still showing up because the brand needs him to. Fighters like Ryan, who explode early with highlight reels and model looks, often get fast-tracked into fame before they've built the mindset to endure the grind.
Ryan, how you feeling, champ?
He's refusing to endorse his promoter's plans, dismissing proposed fights like a matchup with Manny Pacquiao, and openly expressing fatigue with the business side of boxing, and it paints the picture of a fighter who's mentally checked out. He said it best himself, "I'm tired of this." Talk is that Ryan needs enhancements to compete at the highest level, and that without them, he's not the same fighter. They argue that when Ryan isn't juiced up, his performance drops significantly, and the Roley fight confirmed it. The criticism hasn't stopped there. Staying up just to watch Ryan's bout, likely licking his chops for the rematch money and the narrative it carried. Instead, Garcia gave the performance of someone completely disconnected, like he had no real skin in the game anymore.
For sure, you know, but we knew that. Was it the layoff, you think? The year layoff? He wasn't active?
I don't know.
Or he just doesn't want it?
I don't know what it is. I can't say, you know, I wasn't in his camp or nothing like that, but, you know, it could be a few things, you know. Some people say it was a PEDs, so, you know, you gotta get back.
Definitely.
Like Garcia didn't know what was at stake. That Haney rematch wasn't just a shot at redemption, it was the fight that could reframe his entire career post-Osterine. A dominant win over Raleigh would have written a new chapter. It would have made the no contest ruling a footnote. He seemed hesitant, less active, and unwilling to put himself in danger again. This behavior added more fuel to the growing belief that while Ryan is physically gifted, he lacks the mental fortitude and grit expected of elite-level fighters.
You know, it better be a 2-time world champion, being a 3-time world champion.
He's got over 10 million followers on social media, endorsement deals, crossover fame, but fame and form are two different things. If you've reached the point where you're stepping into the ring for a paycheck or just to fulfill a contract obligation, you're a danger to yourself and the sport. Boxing followers who feel Garcia avoids digging deep when the going gets tough. In the fight against Rolly, after being dropped in round 2, fans noticed a distinct shift in Ryan's energy and commitment.
What's your reaction to the fight, champ? Real quick. What's the reaction to the fight?
I thought the night kind of underperformed.
Okay.
For whatever
This
event was bigger than the fights itself. Unfortunately, you know, I was surprised with what Rolly did, but he was strong as hell at 47.
Yeah.
I think that might be his weight.
I think what boxing says, styles makes
fights, and that knockdown really showed, and it kind of, I don't think Ryan ever pushed him back after that knockdown.
Yeah.
I thought he should have been the aggressor.
Missed. And yet, for all of that, the sad truth is Garcia may still get more chances. The business of boxing loves a comeback story, but if Ryan doesn't address the fundamental cracks, his mental investment, his training discipline, the phrase going around is, surely a boxer, but not a fighter. A jab not just at his skills, but at his character in the ring. Ryan, not one to take punches outside the ring without swinging back. Instead, his performance sent a different message entirely. Maybe he's already moved on and the sport just hasn't caught up. Even Romero seemed unsure what to make of it. Asked about a Haney-Garcia rematch, he didn't even offer the usual scripted hype.
Eddie, just your reaction, man.
I can't believe it. I mean, I said, this kind of environment, like sometimes it can just, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean,
Flabbergasted.
Ryan and Devin just dropped the bag like the biggest bag drop we've ever seen. I mean, you know, tonight was going to be those two in the ring facing off for the big rematch.
It's done.
Fans have begun labeling Ryan as a quitter, resurfacing the memory of his body shot knockout loss to Tank, where they believe he chose to stay down instead of getting back up. That moment has lived rent-free in the minds of boxers. And let's not forget the PED shadow that still hangs over Garcia. His win over Haney was stripped for a reason. Ostarine isn't a supplement you accidentally take. The visual difference in his physique from the Haney fight to now? Noticeable.
Very off after the year layoff. You know, that whole year, you know, it was a lot for me mentally, as you guys know. So the fact that I got here is, and I'm in the position I am, my mind is as clear as it is a victory for me, I would say. But I'm extremely disappointed in the way I fought, and it definitely is.
Made headlines again, but this time for comments he made about Rolly Romero following Rolly's own defeat to Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Rolly, who had previously ducked a fight with Ryan during multiple opportunities, including one sanctioned by the WB. It's the truth. From Garcia's point of view, Rolly was never really built for this level of competition, and only got as far as he did because of the way he was moved by Mayweather promotions. He's made it clear that that win would have granted him a blockbuster rematch with Devin Haney, a chance to avenge the no contest ruling that erased his defining victory due to a positive test for Ostarine. Haney was in Times Square.
Hey Ryan, keep your hands up, Ryan! Keep your hands
Seems to be framing all the backlash as typical internet chatter, the kind that surfaces when someone in the spotlight stumbles. To him, it's all noise, but noise or not, there's pressure mounting. After all the chaos, Ryan Garcia, the aggression was gone. There were long stretches of inactivity, and it almost felt like Ryan was trying to avoid getting hurt more than he was trying to win. That's the version of Garcia fans are criticizing. The one who shows flashes early but fades when adversity shows up.
Just because all the noises and just, not hearing the fans.
What you mean all the noises? It was quiet.
Exactly. all they heard was all the
Did you hear Abraham?
Yeah, because of you.
Ryan said he didn't feel right all week up until coming to the fight. Do you have a response
Well,
to
yeah,
that?
because he was scared. Yeah, he knew he was going to fight some dude that got his entire number down.
He said if Garcia ripped into Rolly's chin in conditioning, saying Rolly is done, that his body can't take shots anymore, and that the punches Cruz landed weren't even hard. He's inexperienced, and now his chin is toast. Ryan posted online. The guy just can't take a punch, so took a toll on him mentally and physically. "I'm just happy that I made it to the ring and went 12 rounds," he said, trying to keep the tone positive. But the reality is, fans aren't buying the explanations.
You know, that whole year, you know, it was a lot for me, mentally, as you guys know. So the fact that I got here is, and I'm in the position I am, my mind is as clear as it is a victory for me, I would say. But I'm extremely disappointed in the way I fought, and it definitely isn't my best in any way.
When just physically battered, he was emotionally unmoored. He spoke openly about betrayal in his camp, about feeling unsupported, and about being more comforted by Tank Davis's team than his own. That wasn't just some post-fight venting, it was the start of a public unraveling. DC was stopped in the 8th round by a much smaller man. Pitbull Cruz, just 5'4", moved up in weight and took Raleigh's WBA super lightweight title in convincing fashion. This gave Ryan the perfect opportunity to launch verbal jabs at Raleigh, and he didn't waste it.
He deserved it. You know, Ryan just wasn't active enough. Rolly was landing more punches. There wasn't really a whole lot to go off of, but Rolly was more famous.
Are you like surprised by the dub? No, you thought Rolly could pull it off?
I didn't know who was gonna win. If I'm being, I thought it was gonna end in a knockout by either way. But I didn't know who. But I'm surprised that it went to.
And now, from Garcia's eyes, it all makes sense. Raleigh ducked him and instead took a worse deal, a fight against Pitbull Cruz, and then came back to his fight when he knew he was at Raleigh's loss and all the excuses Garcia made about not being 100% during his recent fight. Fans are not letting Ryan off the hook. Friday night's fight was supposed to be Ryan's triumphant return, one step closer to a rematch with Devin Haney.
Me shocked. I would have never guessed Rolando Romero would outbox Ryan Garcia for the majority of a 12-round bout. I have been one of the biggest critics of Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero, prior to this fight, showed himself to be undisciplined, lacked fundamentals, horrible defensive fundamentals, but he just happened to have power and could talk trash really good.
Advantage. Boxing observers like Boxing News 24 pointed out that Raleigh could have made more money and headlined a card with Garcia, but for whatever reason, he passed. Whoever shies away from marketing a name-driven fight, openly distances himself from you, you know your stock didn't just drop, it collapsed. This wasn't just a loss, it was a flat performance, a listless version of a fighter who once thrilled fans with blazing hand speed and knockout charisma.
Hey, Brian, they canceled the face-off. They try to kick us out. They canceled the face-off. Gotta pick it up, Brian.
This is wrong.
Instead, he lost to Rolly Romero, a fighter that most thought he'd beat, especially after Haney's name had been thrown around again. Romero came in as a massive plus 700 underdog, and not only did he drop Ryan in round 2, but he controlled the rest of the fight. Garcia didn't look like himself. The volume wasn't there. Oscar De La Hoya, his own promoter, has also clapped back immediately after Ryan voiced those frustrations, telling him to man up and placing the blame squarely on Garcia.
Dude, Conor Ben has not knocked nobody else since he got off the street. What do you like some kind of eggs or something? You can eat both these.
After the fight, Garcia stood in the ring and gave a short, humble post-fight comment. "He fought a good fight, caught me early, no excuses, congrats to him," he said. But just minutes later he started. This controversy only deepens the narrative that Garcia's career is going off course, either by design or by neglect. Whether it's due to burnout, disillusionment, or wealth, Garcia no longer looks like someone.
What's good, y'all? I just got home from dinner and look at the title. Rolly Romero stuns Ryan Garcia. I'm stunned, so.
Avoided him multiple times, starting from when Ryan was coming off a long break. Even when the WBC ordered the fight, Garcia claims Raleigh avoided it. He believes that when he was pushing hard to make that fight happen after beating fighters like Tago and Fortuna, Raleigh just kept backing off. When you put the pieces together, the Haney win under PED cloud, the loss to Tank where he took a knee, the inactivity after being dropped by Raleigh, and now the talk of the fight feeling off because of the venue, the criticism seems inevitable. Garcia is being scrutinized not just as a boxer, but as a professional.
Yo, Keyshawn, what do you think? What happened?
I thought he was gonna stop. Yo, I thought I boxed Joe.
I'm gonna enjoy this tape. And the moment they take a few losses or hit a wall, the fame that once lifted them starts to smother them. Garcia might be living that reality now. He isn't fighting with urgency. He's not talking like a man with a next move. And most damning of all, he's losing the original, who may not have the hunger or the toughness that separates champions from viral stars. His own words don't help either. Saying it felt like a sparring match in a major bout reads to many as another excuse from a fighter who once promised to shock the world, but is now struggling to put together consistent, convincing performances.
Literally, he was running. He was scared to me. He was scared of getting hit. I mean, he knows he has no chin, so. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
So what? He doesn't dig, and when things don't go his way, the excuses come fast. But there's one thing. Ryan Garcia might have just blown his chance to re-enter the sport's highest tier. All he had to do was beat Raleigh. Not even dominate him, just win. It felt like a fever dream. One where he was stuck in a bad loop, fighting but not really feeling like he was in a fight. He acknowledged that the year-long break since the Haney fight, all Mayweather's take isn't just technical critiques, it is laced with deeper meaning. He has hinted that Garcia didn't even respect Romero as an opponent, and in boxing, that's suicide. Speed don't mean nothing when you're eating punches like that, Floyd said, calling...
Obviously, some people are gonna say, you shocked the world, but you've been saying you were gonna do this. How do you feel right now?
You always said.
What does this win mean to you?
My name matters right now, man. Just to give thanks and praises to the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
He's being humble right now.
It's not even Floyd Mayweather, not exactly Garcia's cheerleader, has offered some pointed analysis. He said Garcia underestimated Raleigh's power, kept his chin high, and left his hands down. That's not just bad technique, that's carelessness. The fight-ending blow, pure violence. When someone like Mayweather accuses you of not respecting the ring, the implication is bigger than a single loss. It's about your mindset. And if we're honest, Ryan's mindset has been spiraling for a while now. After the Gervonta Davis loss, he wasn't...
Well, like, all the skills, if you ask me, but Rolly got the punch. But hey, once he got popped, hey, it was sayonara, sucker. And besides the knockdown, it was when the commentator said, what do you think Devin Haney thought about the knockdown? And then they replied back, doesn't matter what Devin Haney thought. He had a horrible performance as well. So I do believe Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney too should happen. And, you know, the build-up test can be crazy.
That's not an exaggeration. Several pros said it straight. Garcia looked like he just didn't care. Conor Benn went as far as to retract his interest in a fight, saying it was terrible and that he didn't think it was worth chasing. If someone like Ben, who never's left when a fighter doesn't trust his team, doesn't care to promote his own fights, and doesn't seem to train like he used to, the answer was written all over the ring canvas when Romero knocked him down? Here's the irony. Ryan Garcia might still be one of the most marketable names in boxing. And his advisor Lupe Valencia for agreeing to the now infamous rehydration clause. When your promoter turns against you publicly, the cracks in your foundation are no longer cracks, they're chasms. Add in the fact that Ryan has been clashing with De La Hoya for months.
Do not sit there and say that Ryan Garcia had an off night. Do not blame it on the layoff that Ryan Garcia had. Don't sit there and say Ryan wasn't as active as he usually is in the ring and he was having trouble landing that left hook. Rolly just progressed and grown as a fighter. Even though he's came up short in some big fights, he's learned, progressed, and he takes that experience with him. Rolly played the perfect fight. Let's give Rolly his credit.
Respect of his peers. Conor Benn doesn't want the fight. Floyd Mayweather mocks him. De La Hoya publicly rants about him. Even Rolly Romero cracked jokes about Garcia putting him to sleep while warming up. That's the worst place a boxer can be. Not feared, not hated, not even booed, just dismissed. He flatly said, I ain't even thinking about what's next. Translation? Rolly didn't see anything worth chasing. The fight was supposed to be a war. Instead, Garcia faded under pressure and never truly came back. his team loyalty, then those chances will only accelerate the collapse. At this point, it's not about whether Ryan can still box, it's about whether he still wants to. But do you see it the same? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more updates.